All right, this is day number 31. Let's go over to Pro Tools and take a listen to what we got going on. Bada bing, bada boom. So this one is another one, well, besides the bridge, a singular chord progression that I took throughout the whole song. I feel like it's interesting the different ways that I write chord progressions or the way that I come up with them. Like this one, I started on the bass. I had the drum groove done to an extent. I think I just had like the verse, pre-chorus, chorus done, like something around there. Maybe not all the fills figured out, but a basic skeleton of drums done. And then I just picked up the bass and played a bass line, which ended up being this. And I was like, there we go. Like that's my chord progression done. Just figured it out. And then I was just like, I could just use this as a singular thing throughout the whole thing and repeat it and, you know, do my arrangement that way. I feel like it's interesting just the way that I work and the way that it just changes every day. Like I'll through compose a song like several times. Like, you know, I did that for 3 songs last week. And then I'm like, okay, the first one this week, like I'm going to chill out. I'm going to just write a singular chord progression and have that be my challenge. Just interesting the way that it goes. And being on bass too, definitely different than writing on piano. I think when I write on piano and guitar, I feel a lot more inclined to do different chord progressions and take stuff to different places. Whereas on the bass, it's more like, how can I play simply? There's a mantra that I follow with bass playing of staying out of the way, not overplaying. That's what it is. Not overplaying the bass. You just want the bass to be there at the bottom to support everything. You know, it's the anchor. The drums can go crazy and accent stuff. The bass is like, that's got to be the anchor. So, yeah, just interesting. Like, if I write a song around the bass line or around a chord progression I come up with on the bass, it's just going to be more rock solid and not as fluid as it would on a chordal instrument like the guitar. So, just the things I'm thinking about, the things that I find interesting. So the chord progression is F sharp minor to B minor to D major, and then down to a C sharp 7. I'm actually doing a C sharp 7 sharp 5 on the first, and then resolving it down to the 5 just for a little bit of tension. And then the bridge here is A major, I believe, down to G sharp, like a G sharp sus. I didn't want to full commit to the minor because it sounded weird in context with A, and also in the context, well, I guess we are an F sharp minor, but I don't know, with the 9 and everything in there, I was like, no, I just wanted a sus kind of sound. And then to the 5 to C sharp 7. So then we still have that 5-1 like usual in the regular progression to get from C sharp down to F sharp. That's what I was thinking there. And then elements wise, I guess I'm following like a similar thing of the verses have less instrumentation, the pre-chorus a little bit more, the organ comes in, and then in the chorus I have some more pads and the piano gets a little more involved. I can play that part again, or I'll talk about it when we listen through it the next time, because now we're going to go over to the mix window and talk about the mix. So Addictive drums, again, always Addictive drums, love Addictive drums, using one of the indie presets to get these sounds, and then of course I'm always tweaking it, always going into the EQ and changing things around and changing the level and sometimes changing the actual kit pieces. I don't think I did here. I might have changed the hi-hat. I don't really remember. I might have not though. It's likely that I didn't do that. Again, similar, like I've talked about this before, but especially with the snare and the hi-hat with these samples, I like to boost it a little bit in the high end to give it a little more clarity up there. And then again, same thing here, like cutting lows, boosting highs, not really using the rooms at all. And the master just has that one dip at 130, kind of where the second harmonic of the bass is. I guess the first harmonic is the fundamental of the 60s, the first harmonic around 120, just to get that out of the way so I have a little more clarity in the bass. Going to the bass using Rock Rack again. Yay, Rock Rack, love Rock Rack bass amp. Cutting lows, cutting mids, boosting that first harmonic, 122, yeah, around money. Distressor again, just to tighten everything up. I think this one's peaking around 7 or 8, which is usually where I like to have it. Rock Rack on the guitars. I'm using a different preset or the different recording chain on the different guitars, like different performances to get a little different sound. Like this 563B This is 563, I guess A, but it doesn't have an A there, so it sounds enough different that it's going to give a distinction in the stereo sound and not be the same thing in both ears, so I like to do that. And then same with the EQ, I don't copy and paste the EQ across these, I do them custom each time. Of course, it's going to be cutting similar frequencies. Like if I open up both of them, you can see both of them. They're not that much different from each other, maybe like slightly different, you know, by a few hundred hertz, but yeah, pretty close there. But I like to do them each separately so that if there is a difference that I'm hearing it and not just copy and pasting. And then piano, keys, kind of same thing, cut lows, boost highs, that's kind of the mantra that I follow. With EQ here, and then on this is kind of like a Mellotron flute sound that I have on my keyboard, and I like to put Devil Lock on it just to give it a little bit of aggression, a little bit of crunch, you know, kind of worsen it in a way, but yeah, distort it and crunch it a little bit so it sticks out a little bit more and it's distinct from these cleaner pads. Like this sawtooth is pretty clean, and even the organ is pretty clean too, although I am doing, I'll talk about that. Kind of low boost highs here, but the thing that I liked about this I did this time is I'm using Panman, but I'm cranking the input gain here, and I figured this out for the first time today when I was doing this, is that you can change the way that it distorts. So I, you know, clicked on all of these and decided on the dirt one. You can crank the input here so it distorts like it would like in an analog way, which I thought sounded really good on this organ. I wonder if I can A-B it. Well, it's just pure, it's just quieter, so it's going to be hard to tell. Yep, but there we go. Oh yeah, the thing I wanted to talk about on piano, let's go over that real quick. So just the different, like, and then I'm doing like quarter note all the way up, or blocks all the way up. Kind of like an arpeggio, but with just the chord voicing changing. It's not really a single note arpeggio, in a way it's a 4-note arpeggio, as I'm just moving the voicing up and down. As opposed to in the verses where it's just, you know, just single note. Yep. So that is pretty much it. That's all for today. Back over to me. Thank you for watching. In the description is a link to my SoundCloud where you can listen to all the tracks I've done so far, including this one. And also in the description is a list of all the hardware, software, plugins I use to get this all done. If you're curious, if you want to check out some of it for yourself, like the things that I've talked about and that I use, highly recommend everything. I love all of it and use it every day. So got that recommendation from me. Okay, that is all. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.